Brian, do you even want to be here?
Listen, when I get in my head, I get down on myself, all right? I do want to be in this competition. I'm in this competition. I'm in this room. So mind your own business.
Just asking, girl.
All right, don't stop being a bitch.
Oh, that wasn't in the script.
Yes! Alrighty guys, what's up? It's the boys of Outspoken, and we are here to review episode 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9.
Yes.
Snatch Game!
Snatch Game!
Finally, our favorite. Everybody's favorite. Everybody looks forward to it all year.
Yeah.
I love it because this is the one competition that I feel like always weeds out the ones who can't do shit.
Yeah.
No shade, ladies. But it weeds them out. It lets you know who the real talented ones, the ones who can, kill it.
You gotta be like on your toes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it also it's something you can prepare for as a queen when you're going onto the show. So there's not really an excuse. I feel like if you don't do good in Snatch Game,
Right.
you're just not that good.
Right.
Or not that well-rounded of a
Right.
queen.
Even before you apply for the show, you should be knowing who you're going to be in Snatch Game, right?
Right.
Which brings another thing. I know a few people had a comment about should Snatch Game kind of be maybe one of the first competitions so everyone gets a chance to bring their Snatch Game. I know there was a lot of conversation because I almost do wish I would have seen the other queens bring something.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think
said that
Snatch
too.
Game works in like huge numbers. I think Snatch Game works when it's just a handful of people.
I love seeing them interpret and make fun of other celebrities. I think everybody likes that. It's always the most anticipated episode of the season. So to see like 12 of them do it would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could split them in groups like 6 and 6 and do two different Snatch Games or
Like
something.
how they did on season
Right.
6.
Yeah,
Right.
something. Before we get into this episode, we boys just got back from our very first drag con this year. It was an
Everything.
amazing weekend, a lot of
Yes.
fun. We met so many queens, got some really good interviews.
Got our merch, girl.
got some good
See,
products.
nice.
Yes, that she got her Nina merch, girl.
Yes.
I got my girl Aja. I'm opulent, bitch.
Stay tuned this week. We have a lot of drag con footage coming, a lot of exclusive interviews. It was so much fun. So keep watching for that. We're gonna try to let it not influence us too much about what we thought of the latest episode of Drag Race because we gotta be real. We
Right.
gotta tell it like it is, even
And
if we love you.
Yeah, and each queen that we did meet at DragCon were very nice to us. They gave us lots of hugs and kisses.
Even the ones we read.
Yes.
Even the ones we read.
I will
Yeah.
say every queen we met was incredibly nice and incredibly sweet and welcoming to us. So
Very good time. Next time we'll get a weekend pass because it was just for the day, but we still had a blast.
Right, we'll
Yes.
get a VIP pass too because I can't just be waiting on those lines.
Let's start talking about this episode, girl. Let's talk about Snatch Game.
So as y'all know, Eureka is gone now.
Mhm.
So sad to see her leave, but we got some tea out of it. As you know, Nina was touching base on it. Farrah had something to say
She did.
About Eureka leaving? Or?
about Nina, because I felt like Farrah was sad to see Eureka go, so she was like almost thinking like, well, Nina, if you don't want to be here, then you don't have to
You
be
should
here.
go. She didn't say that in those exact words, but it kind of came
That's
across.
a vibe.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
What y'all think?
I mean, I feel like I understood what Farrah was saying, but Farrah, you're not one of the judges, girl. You're her competition. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Like your advice is it was unsolicited, and I said this about Alexis Michelle too. No shade, but it's a competition at the end of the day. And I don't think that just because Nina is in her head and she's down on herself
Right.
doesn't mean that she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Sometimes coming from somebody who really, really beats himself up and always wants to be the best person that I could be, it's hard sometimes. Like you can self-sabotage, but it doesn't mean that you don't want to be there. Sometimes it's because you love what you're doing so much.
You're so passionate.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why I'm just like, Farrah, shut up, girl. And on top of that, like, what are you doing for the competition that is so damn special?
And I don't think it's gonna help the situation. Like if you know I'm in my head about it, like if you were my girl, if you were my sister, you wouldn't make it worse.
Right, exactly.
You would be like Shea, Coulee, who supports her and builds her up and jokes with her, and then maybe gives a little tough love, like, bitch, you better pull it together this week because you're making me mad, but in a playful, supportive atmosphere, not like.
But she told her in Untucked, she was like, bitch, if you start getting negative again, I'm gonna straight up fight your ass.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, you
Yeah.
better call your sister out, girl.
She was trying to relate to her on her level, you know what I mean? You know, trying to just keep it real, keep it down, keep it all the way authentic. 100 at the same
And
time.
Nina she reciprocated. Like, she
that.
totally understood where Shea was coming from because she knew it was coming from a place of love.
Right. You're going to speak to someone, especially in a large group like that, you don't want to attack them and saying, well, do you even want to freaking be here? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the show, and I'm sure there's always a little producer prodding, or we'll talk about this now, or whatever, you know, as part of the show.
Maybe it woke me up though.
Right.
On the opposite side,
Right.
maybe it was like,
True.
damn, these bitches are really tired of me, complaining
Right.
down on myself. And maybe it's time for me not to depend on these people and just really show them what I can do.
Totally.
So let's talk about Snatch Game, which is like everybody waits for this when it comes to Drag Race every season. Snatch Game. Let's talk about how they did.
Shea Coulee as my favorite Naomi
Oh,
Campbell.
one of your
Bitch.
favorite queens playing one of your favorite people.
Right.
It's like two of your idols in one.
Like I always say, I'm a product of RuPaul and Naomi Campbell smashed into one. That is my life. That's why I to call myself. Now,
Or Nita Ritz.
Man!
Maybe a little Nita Ritz and Ichabod Crane or something.
that's it. I'm out of here. That's all. I'm out of here. Anyway, Shea Coulee did an amazing job as her portrayal as Naomi Campbell. She
Yes,
really
she
went
did.
there. She really took it there.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was
It was
amazing.
stretch.
Oh, you didn't love it.
You didn't love it?
Look, yes, but she didn't give me like personality, Naomi. Like I felt like it wasn't bitchy enough. Like, yeah, I love that she played with Nina a little bit, but I felt like it could have been a little more if you're being Naomi.
Maybe a little more.
Maybe
Okay.
she did, but maybe
It was
the
cut.
edit, girl, could have been cut out.
Yeah.
But when she called
With the
called
phone?
Nina Chris Rock, girl,
Yeah.
I was so done, bitch. Like,
Chris Rock with the cricket phone.
Chris Rock with the cricket phone, girl.
I do wish Nina
was
would
good.
have played with her more because Nina has such good comebacks. I'm like, bitch, kill Naomi right now.
Yeah, she,
Right,
she could've-
exactly.
And as Jasmine Masters, I'm sure she could have had something to say about that.
Yeah.
but-
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about Nina playing Jasmine Masters,
What's
girl.
going on, baby? Jasmine Masters.
And I-
Well, it wasn't
I
a
have something
huge
to say.
surprise to fans because we've seen her do
Yeah.
Jasmine before
Yeah.
online, and I think her fans love it. I love it. I think it's hilarious. She's hilarious at it. She was really good. She was funny.
Right.
Yeah, but what I didn't like is that Nina didn't use those, those little sound bites that Jasmine always says, like, get my judge or
Yeah, that's not my judge.
That's
Yeah,
not my
yeah,
judge,
yeah.
all that. And plus, I think Jasmine really did like it. You know what I mean? Like, because she did her in a way that it made sense.
Yeah.
It was actually funny. It was actually
Right.
comical.
And it makes Jasmine Masters relevant again. So that's a plus too.
I agree. I would feel honored if someone impersonated me. I don't care who
They
you
won't.
are.
Now,
Right.
moving on.
Oh,
Let's go.
well, the other impersonation from a past queen was Aja playing Alyssa Edwards. What did you think of her?
Horrible. She
performance?
should have went with her other choice.
Well, she should have did that because this Alyssa Edwards was a no for me.
Yeah, it was
The,
a hell, it was a hell
the
no.
look
It
was
wasn't my
there.
favorite.
I
It
love
wasn't
my
my
girl,
favorite.
but the look was there.
Yeah.
I don't think that she got Alyssa's accent very well.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that she got was her look was okay, and also the
pop.
What is it?
The
Try that
pop.
again.
Wait, I can do that.
There you go. Yes. True Texas girl.
Sorry, I'm Jasmine Masters. I'm Cottonmouth, baby.
She's talented, just wasn't the best of the stuff.
Yeah, I think she's actually a funny queen. Like, even in person, this bitch is so hilarious and such
Yeah.
a good little kiki.
Mhm.
I just felt like she missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially after you see Violet Chachki do it and did it well. Like, do you really want to bring that?
Mm.
Even though someone's done it already and did it?
Right.
Right, and Alyssa's just such a larger-than-life character, and she's still in so many people's minds from just killing it on All Stars last season. So, people have these expectations of Alyssa Edwards.
But to be honest, I don't want to see any more Drag Race stars being,
Well, they said that on the runway.
Yeah,
They
I
called them for that a little bit.
I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want you to be portraying anybody from previous seasons. Like, for what?
See, I'm not mad at it though, girl, and this is my reason behind it. I think it's a positive thing because it brings light to the queens from past seasons. Because as Drag Race has kind of accelerated with being more mainstream now, I think it's bringing more attention to like past queens. And I
Okay.
noticed that's something that the past queens from other seasons, they don't necessarily say it, but I know some of y'all are salty because the newer queens are getting this, they have a bigger platform now because they're on VH1 and the following just keeps growing for Drag Race. It's becoming more mainstream. So I'm not mad at it.
I agree. I feel like it's funny.
Yeah.
It's comedy, and it gives us Drag Race fans, really something to look forward to because we love our drag queens. We love our past season. So it's just to see them recreate who we already love, I thought it was gold.
Plus, we love our shade, and there's always a little shade thrown in there, but it's loving shade towards the other queens. So.
Sue me.
Sue me. Yes.
Did you guys think of Peppermint this week playing another reality star in
Fail.
8 weeks? Yeah.
Fail.
I feel like it could have been really good. There's so many, one-liners that Nene has. She's
So
such
many.
a. Such
I said what I said.
Exactly. Like she could have killed it.
Yeah. Go to bed, wig.
Nene's just such an easy character. I feel like so easy to impersonate. She has so many one-liners. She's been a pop culture icon
Right.
for many years now, and
It was a miss for me. It was
It was.
Even the look was a little sloppy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even the look was like.
Yeah, it was a no leaks for me.
I mean, her shoulders match Nene Leakes.
Oh.
Right. Moving on.
Dr. Reed.
Moving on. Speaking of shoulders, Alexis Michelle. What did you guys think
Well,
about her?
When I originally heard that she was doing Liza Minnelli,
Mhm.
my first instinct was that's the most basic drag person, the most classic. Everyone is Liza Minnelli. Well, like that's old school. That's not interesting.
Yeah.
That's not
It
funny.
is interesting.
But
she be doing
There's a
good.
but. There's a
She
but.
killed it.
But she did an amazing job.
Amazing.
She did really good. It was hilarious. She kind of made it her own in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I can't knock it. It was great.
And can I say one thing? I'm starting to have like a little crush on Alexis Michelle.
Girl.
Oh, that's just
hold
because
on.
you met her this week.
This is why where we're gonna go. Okay, so just to touch on DragCon a little bit because we don't want to spill too much tea. But the night before DragCon, we went out to Precinct in downtown LA, and who was there, girl? The one, the only
Michelle.
Alexis Michelle.
And she's very handsome.
She
She
is.
is
She was there as a boy, yeah.
She was there as a boy. Oh my gosh, she's so fine.
Yeah.
That ass, girl. Oh my gosh, she has such a nice
There's
ass.
children watching.
I don't care. I saw her first out of the four of us, but I was a little terrified. I was like, oh my god, Alexis Michelle
She
is
was.
here.
I was like,
I've read her. I don't know if she's gonna like us. Like, I started getting scared. But she was actually really, really sweet.
Yes.
And she did call us out on our shade a little bit. She's like, yeah, sometimes editing makes us look this way. Yada, yada,
Just
yada.
remember we have feelings
Yeah, we're
and we're all
humans.
people and we're humans. And she is right about that. But we're still going to call it like we see it. But we love you.
Oh, we love you, girl.
Yes.
Exactly.
And slide them at the ends one of these days.
Oh,
Whenever you're in LA, Alexis.
I think they both want you to slide it in.
She said, give me a good review and I'm mine.
Exactly, right? But yes, no, Alexis, you killed it in Snatch Game, girl. Your Liza Minnelli
I
I thought
was
she did,
on
yeah. I would have got to agree. I felt like, yeah, we're, the gays and Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you can do it well, why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she won the challenge,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she won the challenge. Congratulations, girl.
Congratulations. Let's talk about our girl, Valentina.
Valentina.
As Miss Columbia.
Well, we were a little bit worried because we didn't know how well she could portray a character and if she can really be super funny. Because
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of like polished and pretty and drama.
Yeah.
But she was really funny.
Yeah.
That Steve Harvey comment and her crying.
I love that.
It was great. I was
for a
surprised.
pageant, you don't think of comedy. You
Right.
don't think of personality. You don't think of. But she really did
Is she
play.
a pageant queen?
She played a pageant.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But she fucked it up. All right.
Well, girl, it's Snatch Game, so it's gotta be comedy, so I know what you're going with that. But, I do know she has a little background in acting, like classes, I think since she was like 11. Really young. So I do
Valentina?
know she,
Oh, okay.
Valentina does have acting experience. Girl, y'all know me. I love Valentina, and she did no wrong in this episode.
She didn't. This is where I'm coming to. I've come to a conclusion with Valentina. I don't think she's a pageant queen. I don't think I put her into any category. She has to be the one bitch who has come onto Drag Race that I think she has studied the science of Drag Race down to the T. Like, she knows what they're expecting.
Yeah.
She knows what the hell she's doing, even though she's done drag for, only a year or whatever it was. Like, I just think she's done her
She
homework.
came prepared. She
Literally,
came ready to
she's gonna
fight.
throw some shade.
Nope.
I'm not gonna say it.
No.
Steve Harvey, not today.
Not today, girl.
All these digs at me. I'm
I know.
gonna leave the show. I'm coming back.
Farrah Moan
Yeah.
played Gigi Gorgeous,
Gigi Gorgeous.
which was kind of a...
Not very gorgeous.
No, I mean, she was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. I mean, Farrah
She
Moan's
looked-
always
she
gorgeous,
looked-
and she
she
did
looked
look
like-
like her. But
Do you think so?
yeah, I mean, but it's not that funny. It's not a funny character, and if you're going to make it funny, you gotta make it funny. Like,
I think she should have done Gigi pre or in between the transition.
But that could be offensive.
I think she should have done Christina Aguilera.
Controversial for sure.
Christina Aguilera, that would be a good one. She looks so
She
much
don't even
like
have to
her.
sing, girl. Like literally, just be a bitch and throw Britney under the bus the entire time. Like you would have slayed. You would have
That's
slayed.
true.
That's what you should have done, bitch.
All right, well, hey.
Just saying.
Yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
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 She'll be going home soon anyway, so it's okay.
Another top contender this week was Sasha Velour, who did Marlene Dietrich,
Yes.
which was another one. At first, I was like, let's see how this goes. I know she was second guessing herself in the workroom.
She
and
should
it's-
have been.
Well, it's a kind of a, it's a throwback, definitely.
Yeah,
Not
throwback.
everyone is as familiar with her,
Yeah.
but
I'm not. Sorry.
But no, if you know, she was a German actress
Yeah.
from like the 20s and 30s and 40s, and she was bisexual and she had some parties.
Right.
And, she was kind of out there, but I thought she did a great job and she made the character really funny.
Hey, Mama Ru was buying it, so I was like, okay, girl, then you're clearly
Yeah.
doing good.
I like the way she acknowledged that Marlena is actually dead.
Right.
That was funny. I was like,
That was cool.
well, I'm dead. So,
Am I the only one when seeing Sasha and RuPaul side by side? I'm like, is that the white version of RuPaul?
he does favor Ru a little bit.
Not all balls look alike.
Yeah.
You know what? What do y'all think? Here's a pick.
Right. Well, girl, here, in all fairness, and maybe we do kind of like not to touch on DragCon again, but I have to. I saw Angina there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I saw Angina and her and I
Put
took a
that
picture
pic.
together. Put the picture of me and her posing together with our bald heads, girl. That's my sister. That is her. Oh my gosh. Now let's talk about Trinity Taylor.
Yes.
This bitch has been amazing me all season long.
I know.
Because we have
Oh.
slept on her, girl. Like
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say I have slept on
Yes.
her. Her Amanda Lepore was on point,
On point,
in my
yeah.
opinion. She fucking slayed.
Yeah.
She's a quiet storm in this competition.
Well, she was definitely at the beginning all of our first pick to go.
Yeah, to go.
Us being a little shady, but every week she's been bringing it and showing
Yes.
what she can do, and she's a super talented queen. I mean, she's making everyone just shut up and take it that had a problem with her. So
Yeah.
good for her.
Yeah,
Keep bringing
it's
it.
like
I love
every
it.
week she's elevating higher and higher
Right.
and higher into the competition and really ranking to be one of the top contenders. And I can't wait to see what she's going to do next week.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like she did a great job, but I guess it's not surprising being that she looks just like her. Just kidding. I love you. No, I thought she did an amazing job. Of course, it's not really challenging. Amanda Lepore, she just gives you a look. There's not anything funny about her. So I felt like,
I disagree with that. Do you know Amanda Lepore's work? She's very funny. She's very funny.
like what?
Any interview with Amanda Lepore, she's pretty funny.
Really?
I haven't thought of her more of a funny queen either, but I'll take
I
a
feel
word
like
for
more
it.
her mannerisms are just like very this and very that.
Sensual.
But I don't get comedy queen from.
Yeah,
Amanda.
no, she's not a comedy queen at all. But
Yeah.
it's just her look and then the
She has a
funny,
sense of humor.
ditzy things she says are funny.
But the thing about Trinity Taylor, she made her funny. Like when she said, she's like, "Are you moving your face?" She's like, "I'm moving my face right now." And there was no movement.
Right.
And I was like, "Yes, bitch, I love that." She did it. She did good in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say I liked how she brought up Eureka and said in the beginning of the episode how she felt bad that she left earlier and how they didn't get that connection
Right.
like she wanted because they do have bad history at that, and she wanted to get to know her more and give her more of a chance, and she
Right.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I love Trinity for that.
She touched on that in Untucked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that Untucked?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was Untucked.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all the girls were kind of singing Eureka's praises at the beginning a little bit,
And
and
Untucked.
here talking about in Untucked, where how she helped everyone. Nina had a moment talking about how much she helped her with the challenge, and Farrah, and a lot of the queens, and they all agreed that Eureka seemed to be just a really good team player, and she was very supportive of the other queens, and I think that's really cool too.
Another one we met at DragCon. She was so sweet. I'm
Stay
sorry.
tuned, stay tuned.
Name dropping.
I know I can't help it, bro, because just so many of these queens were, honestly, all of them, even the ones we read, they were all really, really sweet girls. Like, I have nothing bad to say about any of them.
They were.
So,
They were.
last but not least, let's talk about our girl, Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Cynthia.
As, what's her name?
Sofia Vergara.
Sofia Vergara.
Or as herself in a bad wig and top or whatever.
She
Yeah.
just didn't give me Sofia Vergara. She
At
gave me
all.
Cynthia Lee Fontaine, which is funny, but we were looking for Sofia Vergara. It's Snatch Game. You gotta impersonate somebody.
And the sad thing is she was like, I've been rehearsing her for 2 years. Girl.
That's why I felt
I
bad.
know she was feeling that she was gonna kill it. It did something got lost in translation, pardon the pun.
Literally.
It just, yeah.
Literally.
I don't know.
She's holding out. What?
Well, no, because it's just like, it's like disappointment because I really wanted her to do well. I thought she was going to make it to the top 3.
Oh, really?
I did.
You thought it was going to be a
A lot of people
redemption
did.
kind of for her
I
this
did.
season.
I did, and the fact that she did not bring it really hurts my heart, and it hurts my cuckoo.
It's okay, girl. Shay, you know what? There will be an All-Stars 3. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring her back on that.
Yeah, she should have just been a cuckoo.
A bird?
Either way, that cuckoo is famous now, girl. The world knows that cuckoo.
That's true.
Alrighty, A Night of 1,000 Madonnas, Part 2 was this week's theme on the runway.
Yes.
Because they didn't do it right the last time.
No.
And
At least that's what some of the queens were saying. I'm like, Shea.
well, that's why literally RuPaul was like, kimono, she better don't.
Yes.
Right?
And they did.
I know that they give them some sort of guidelines about what looks to bring and things to do. So if they're telling you maybe bring a Madonna inspired look, maybe you should bring 3. Just in case.
You never know.
You're looking around the room and you see, oh wait, she's got it and she's got it. You can pull another 1 or 2
I
out.
don't understand why, and this is no shade to Trinity and to Nina, but
No.
there is so many damn Madonna looks. How could even if all 14 queens were still there, you could all have your own individual
Right.
look. Like how do you, like there's so many Madonna looks to choose from.
I would have just dressed as a black gay man. Being that she stole everything from them.
Ooh, Madonna shade.
Madonna shade, girl.
Soon.
All right, Valentina. You do no wrong, girl. You just do no wrong. I know
That
she
was
wasn't
odd.
wearing anything, and it was just but it's such a that was classic.
Right.
That was so classic, and she gave you fucking body, girl.
Body.
Body. She was a supermodel.
It was
version
creative.
of
It was a
Madonna.
creative version of a Madonna, the sex book and stuff. So maybe she didn't do a lot, but it was impactful because of what it was and the idea of it. And she's
It was a
fucking hot.
moment.
Yeah.
It was a TV moment. And I've lived for a good TV moment. I'm sure it was on all the blogs. Everyone was talking about it. The club was going wild.
They cheered.
I
The
wasn't there.
club,
I was
like,
hearing from outside the
cheered
line.
when Valentina came out.
But now I know what that shit was about.
Yeah, girl. No, when we were at Precinct and Valentina came out,
Mhm.
you know, with that Madonna look, everybody
Yeah.
lost their shit.
Right.
I've never heard so many yes
Yeah.
all in one place, girl.
Because they saw some ass.
Precinct is filled with nothing but bottoms, right? So they weren't going for the ass.
LA is filled with bottom.
I know.
You were just-
Nina and Trinity, they both did a runway look that she did to an event. I did like the look, but I will say that Trinity pulled it off a little bit better than Nina. I'm sorry, Nina, you looked good, but
She
Trinity's
knows it.
much more polished.
Yeah.
Well, she would tell you, sue me.
Right, I
She
know.
would say,
I know.
I feel bad for Nina because, had Trinity not brought that, I feel like it would have translated a little better.
Right.
But obviously, Trinity killed it. I feel like Nina, was just like a cheap version. I hate to use that word. Nina is what I would have looked like in high school. Trinity was what I would have looked like coming back at the 10-year reunion.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Just
Gotcha.
like,
Right.
once you get that little money and you're more polished,
Right.
I felt like that's the look that Trinity brought. Nina just didn't hit the mark.
They
I call
wouldn't-
shade. Nina did own it too in the
Yeah.
Untucked. She was like, they did say, I should have that hers should have been more tailored the way that Trinity's
My
was.
Taylor's not the word, Nina. Outfit.
Could you shade?
Girl, it is what it is.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I
but in comparison to Trinity's look, and of course that's what they have to judge them on, then, she got
Right.
read a little bit. But
Peppermint and Shea, Coulee, who came in with the same Madonna inspired by Marilyn Monroe look
Yeah.
from the Material Girl video, which is
Yeah.
my favorite video by Madonna, by the way.
It's good.
The story of my life. If you want to date me, that's what you need to pay attention to. Okay.
That's why her DMs are dry.
But that bank account is fat.
That's debatable too.
They don't need to know that. I felt like Shea Coulee's outfit was better than Peppermint's.
Oh, all
Yeah.
day long. Like, yeah.
It just looked a little more expensive
Yeah.
in comparison.
Yeah.
I like Peppermint, girl. I
I
feel like I like her as a person.
She
She's a
was
sweetheart.
Peppermint looked like a bridesmaid. That's exactly what I got from her. Like, yeah, bitch, you're gorgeous, and you just can't rely on that. Like, I feel like we're just all rooting for Peppermint to do something, and she just
Peppermint's a legend.
A legend, and before the show, she was one of the ones we were most excited about. And it's no shade, I still love her. She's beautiful. She seems like she's really sweet. She just doesn't seem to be bringing it to the level of some of the other queens so far, and it's a little disappointing.
Maybe this whole thing though, like the debate on Peppermint, kind of falls under that subject of you hear a lot of these drag queens saying, quit comparing drag queens who are not on Drag Race to don't set that standard of drag to what you see on
Yeah,
Drag
your
Race.
queens.
Exactly. And I agree to a certain extent, but I also feel like once you get on the show, you're on the show for a reason, or you kind of got to step up your game. It's time to morph into the best version of you.
Olympics of drag.
Yeah.
So Alexis came with the Madonna, like the Dick Tracy look, serving like body with the sequin. It really did look like it was painted on her.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great look.
Yeah.
I thought it was creative because that might not be a look people think of as Madonna's her acting role. You know, she's not exactly known as an actress.
Yeah.
But I thought she looked really great in that.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
She did the face. The face was Madonna from far away.
Yes.
From far away, I was like, Madonna. You got closer. Yeah.
Right.
I'm just glad she finally won so she can shush.
Aja said it though. She said if she doesn't win this week, she's gonna murder us all. And I kind of think that was a little accurate.
Might have been the case, girl.
She was starting to get, she was starting to get mad about being in the safe zone, and she's been wanting to bring it.
I would like to see Alexis get real aggressive, though.
Oh.
In what way?
Well,
The back way.
in a way that's not suitable for our YouTube channel. But I'll tell you guys once we're,
You go to XTube for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Farrah Moan's look. I loved it. Whoever made that for her, whatever costume shop she got that from, was amazing.
Well, she's lucky because
I
that
know.
look saved her ass, girl.
That look totally saved her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have been in the bottom for sure if not. I mean, I think it was a debate on the three that were going to be in the bottom, so one of them had to pull out a better look, and it was definitely Farrah. The Madonna look was great, head to toe. It was really polished and detailed. Yeah.
I was moaning for that look. Let me tell you.
Oh, what'd you think of your girl Aja's look? The red, like flamenco.
It was cute. It was cute. I love Aja, girl. But
I know.
Something I'm just like, oh, like you're almost there. And the reason why I stand for Aja so much because she's such a rowdy performer. We watched her at Precinct this past Friday. Was that Friday? Yeah. We watched her Friday. Slade. She's an epic performer, and I think that's a thing that will keep her around for a long time. But I do want to see my girl step up her game as far as her looks a little bit more because I think she can do it.
Yeah.
She can do it.
For sure.
But it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. I was just very like.
That's why she was safe this
Yeah,
week.
she was safe. She was safe.
It's very quinceañera.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, very like, oh, it's not long because everyone knows she's a whore, so cut it in half.
Yeah.
Like, just very.
But no, I get it.
Very, I get the Latin notes.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do Latin,
it was flat.
you gotta do it good when you're on stage with Valentina too, who brings out the Latin and the red and the, not to compare, but
the heat, girl. That's Valentina.
Totally.
Sasha Velour's Madonna look. So, what you guys, that was an edgy look. I loved that.
I liked it. The erotica look. It was very visual. It was very bold. It was kind of simple, but it worked really well, like they said. So I actually. Sasha, for me, did really, really well this week. Like, I like Sasha. I think she is a talented queen, but I haven't seen as much from her personality. And, sometimes the art queens all kind of blend together, I'm sorry to say. Sometimes you're all bald, you all like art, and I get it. But she is very talented. The behind-the-scenes stuff she's done. And this was the first week to me that I really saw how far Sasha might be able to go in a competition.
I just kind of think it's one of those classic cases of her style of drag is not what gets me.
Right.
That's why, like, sometimes I find myself not even remembering her looks, even though she did really well. And it's just it doesn't resonate with me. It's not my tea. Although I think you were very talented.
She is. She's very talented.
But also her body is amazing as well. That's all I have to say. Thank you for now.
Same.
Last but not least, Cynthia Lee Fontaine doing the the Matador.
What was the falling that she did in the beginning?
Was that on purpose?
Yeah.
Or
It was on purpose.
Oh, how Madonna fell with the cape at the. Got it. Oh, well, that makes more sense. I thought Cucu just fell. I don't know. It didn't read as that funny.
It didn't translate.
Well, she did. She fell to the bottom with that.
Well, she sure did. She
Literally,
totally
girl.
did. Yeah.
So the top three of the week was Alexis, Nina, and Sasha, which was very well deserving for all three of them.
All three of them brought it in the challenge.
All three
it was
of them
really
brought it in the
great.
challenge.
I think and then it ultimately came down to Sasha and Alexis because they both had good looks that everyone liked, and they both did good. So it was kind of who's going to edge out the other one. I think they gave it to Alexis because they were afraid of her, but I honestly thought it could have gone either way that week. I thought they were both very good, and if Nina's look would have been as stronger, she could have taken it too because I thought her Jasmine was hilarious. But
yeah, I agree with the top three. I love the choices for the top three. I agree with the top three.
Okay.
Back to you, Jeff.
I don't agree with the top three. It wasn't my judge. And I'll tell you why. Actually, I agreed with the top three. I thought it was great. Of course, I wish Nina would have won, but her runway look. It didn't bring it
Yeah,
back. And I get it.
Mhm.
Alexis deserved it, and I'm glad she got it. Sasha, I see you, bitch.
Yeah, the two of them really came through this week. Congratulations, Alexis. Honestly, you killed it this week. You finally got your well-deserved win. We're very happy for you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom 3 of the week turned out to be, like we said, Farrah, Moan, Peppermint, and poor Cynthia Fontaine.
Yeah.
It's so hard when a drag queen does pants.
Yeah.
Like, you just really have to pull it, and it doesn't help that she had a 5 o'clock shadow. Her contour was just not the team.
Yeah, they read her for that. Michelle Visage especially. It did look a little beard-like in some ways, a little almost drag king-like. I don't know. Like
Was I seeing a mustache there too?
A little bit. Cynthia looked like Juan. Okay? Fontaine.
Juan the bullfighter.
Girl, I love you, girl, but Juan was like, Juanito, ¿qué pasó?
All right. Oh my goodness. But hey, you know what? She did end up going home this week. We knew, like, she went up against Peppermint.
And Peppermint slayed that ass. That move she did across the stage when she lifted it.
Yes,
Yes,
that was everything.
I was like, yes.
Girl, the club went crazy when she did that.
They did.
Well, are you surprised? Peppermint, I'm sure she can perform her ass. I haven't seen her live.
She's an old school drag. She comes from that era where you really have to fuck it up head deep.
Mm-hmm. And she did. She finally, we finally got to see something. You know, we saw a little bit of the Britney last week, was kind of fun, but this is the first time we actually got to see some of Peppermint's real talent and real, you know, like showmanship, I guess. So
even the splits didn't help Cynthia.
I know, she tried it.
You can't use that every time to save your life.
I know. And didn't she, for me, I felt like Cynthia already felt a little defeated almost going into it. She didn't quite feel like herself or something. Like
especially after watching Untucked, you kind of see like she kind of knew.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, oh shit, this might be my time. But
she was gracious, girl. That's one thing that I think why people fall in love with Cynthia Fontaine, because she's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Well, I'm emotional now.
I know, no, seriously, because when I was watching the Untucked of her leaving, like, she's just so graceful, and so you could tell she takes pride in having that sisterhood with all the other queens, and she's so supportive. She talked about Eureka and how much, you know, Eureka inspired her and inspired the other queens, and, you know, just that she wishes the best for everybody. And I think that's what I love the most about Cynthia Fontaine.
Go miss your cuckoo.
Untucked tea?
yeah.
Untucked was a little boring this week.
It
wasn't as
But Pheromone and Aja and Peppermint were having this thing outside. And that's when the real tea started.
Yeah, that's why they had chairs set up, and I was like, oh, the producers knew if they get them out there smoking, they'll spill the tea.
Oh my God, speaking of before that, that's what I loved about Pheromone this episode. She's like, well, I need a smoke. And I was just like, girl, I don't know. Are you allowed? She's like, if I'm on lip sync for my life, I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yes. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, she also brought up the fact, this is the first time we saw her talk about the fact that she was pissed at Alexis last week for saying, like, you know, I'm talking. She's like, I'm gonna lip sync, bitch. Like, what do you want from me? I'm not, you know, it would have been good if she would have brought that in the room, though.
Right.
Show a little bit
exactly.
Show a little bit of that personality.
Girl, actually, yes, I am gonna leave right now. I have to lip sync for my life, and your problems are not my problems right now. That's what she should have said.
Next time she'll get it.
I did like that. Farrah be running her mouth behind the. She don't have
Behind
her
the
shirt.
scenes. I did like how she brought up, Peppermint was like, ooh, girl, you spilling tea now.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. But also, they even touched on Alexis a little bit while they're out there, saying that she feels like maybe she's kind of sabotaging people, kind of giving them advice, but maybe not in their best interest. Like, supposedly she told Cynthia to shade more, a little bit on her contour, and that's kind of what they read her for.
I think that was last week's look, but they still read her for it too.
That's very Fifi of her right there. Very Fifi.
She almost seems like she's kind of for herself, and I get it's a competition.
Yeah, of course.
But it's almost like, are you trying to sabotage the other ladies? Is that the way you want to go? It was just conversation, but now it's something to look into.
It's something to think about. You know, they're all presented one way, but you know, we do see a few of these things, and we've seen her kind of give some advice here and there that might not always be so sweet, and she did freak out a little bit when other people were trying to go through something last week. So I see what happens. It is a competition. She's a polished queen, and maybe overall she means well, because she was very sweet to us, and she does seem like a sweet person from as far as we can tell, especially because we have read her in the past, and she was very nice. So I'm sure there's a really good person in there, but on the show, she's doing a little bit of the
a
little bit of that sprinkle of drama, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was when Valentina approached Pheromone and gave her the rest of her drink. Just the fact that she thought about her and said, you know, in that moment, like, you're going through it right now. Here's the rest of my drink. That was very sweet of Valentina.
You would like that. That was a good drink.
Anyone who gives her free alcohol.
One drink, give me 20.
My favorite part of Untucked was when Nina got the message from her mom. They used to do that all the time in Drag Race, and they, you know, as it gets on more in the competition, they get messages from home. And Nina's mom is hilarious. I see where she gets it from.
Right.
When she's like, "You've been messing up my counter with makeup for years, so you better go, you know, go use it, baby." You know,
She shades her and compliments her. And
all
she's
in
like,
one, just like
I like how
Nina.
she called her out. She's like, "Get out of your head, Nina."
Yeah. And
This is Mama Linda. Get out of your head.
Mhm.
You're doing great. Keep it going. I love that.
There was a sense I feel like Nina really needed that.
Oh, yeah.
It made her feel like, all right, here, I'm ready to go now.
Totally. Between that and having RuPaul really defend her hard, to give her advice in the room, and then even on the runway, how RuPaul was kind of telling the other queens Nina's story. You don't hear RuPaul doing a lot of like defending of queens and giving them a backstory.
Exactly.
You can tell that she really has a soft spot for
She
Nina.
wants her
and
to well.
Which
she
brings
does.
us up to our next moment. Josh, we have a video. Your mother sent us in. Let's go take a look.
I heard when you were talking about sucking the cum out of the mouth.
She did. Oh,
No, I loved it. It was a moment.
Yeah, it was
with
good.
Nina, and everybody loved it. But if I was the other girls, I'm like, hold the fuck up, bitch. Where's my bid?
Right.
We're already talking about this bitch enough.
They probably got him ready to go, and then Nina had kind of a bad week last week,
Yeah.
so they, you know,
Threw her a bone.
Rue likes her. They threw her a bone. Totally.
Rue loves Nina, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Rue kind of sees herself, her younger self in Nina,
Mhm.
especially with her style of drag. Like, remember RuPaul's thing was the whole like black hooker drag was her
Yeah, a
thing.
little bit of rat
And
shit, a little
Nina's
bit of-
got
yeah,
that
but-
aesthetic, like kind of, you know, but took it to another level with the whole
Yeah.
animated characters.
Totally.
And stuff.
Right.
That's why I think she favors her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
and the
know
self-doubt
too.
things that she said she could relate to, which we all relate to.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the self-doubt and being your own biggest sabotage. So,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Okay.
Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning into our episode, our review of RuPaul's Drag Race episode 6 from season 9. Stay tuned this week, you guys, because we are going to be releasing a little footage here and there of our experience at RuPaul's DragCon 2017. It honestly was one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had
Yes.
in my life, girl. In my life.
A
It-
blast. All the
So
trade, all the queens, all the tea.
I'm gonna find my husband at the next one, I think, because
you may already have.
I may have already found him and I don't even know it.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll see this video and reach out to you.
Right, exactly. Because there were so many cute boys. Like there
was a lot-
fine,
there was a lot of
and
cute
you're a
boys,
Drag
too.
Race fan. Like, oh,
Drag queens, hot guys. What more did you need?
Exactly.
Liquor you could sneak in. You know what? It was a
I'm
good
sorry,
time.
it was actually Pepsi we were drinking, girl.
Yeah.
Wait, girl, you're still drinking Pepsi?
I mean, just on occasion, girl.
Even after that commercial.
girl, you
But
know
it's
Pepsi heals
I'm gonna
everything.
stick to Coke. I'm kidding. I'm like,
You should not put that.
We're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Also, at the end of the week, we will finally release the full episode of our experience at RuPaul's DragCon 2017. We have some really amazing interviews. We met some of the queens and some public figures
Yes.
in our community.
And we have a special guest correspondent who's also doing interviews, Danique.
The freak.
Our friend Danique from Prince Charming. He hung out with us yesterday and it was a good time.
So stay tuned. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And also tell us who you think should be in the top 3 or who should be in the bottom 3 in the comment section. Jeb, you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Mwah.